مشاهدينا في كل مكان، أهلا بيكم. احنا معاكم النهاردة هنستكمل حوارنا مع سعادة السفير يورجن شولتز، سفير الجمهورية الألمانية المتحدة لدى جمهورية مصر العربية. في لقاء اليوم هنتحدث عن تاريخ العلاقات ما بين مصر وألمانيا وغيرها من الموضوعات الهامة في مجال التجارة ومجال الاستثمار وغيرها من الموضوعات. أتمنى تتابعوا معنا في هذه الحلقة. مشاهدينا في كل مكان، اهلا بيكم. احنا معاكم النهارده هنستكمل حوارنا مع سعاده السفير يورجن شولتز، سفير الجمهوريه الالمانيه المتحده لدى جمهوريه مصر العربيه. Your Excellency, thank you so much for having us for the second time.
It's a great pleasure to be here.
Your Excellency, in this episode we would like to start by talking about the history of relations between Egypt and Germany. So can we start talk about it?
Yes, and I'm pleased to say that Germany and Egypt go back a very, very long time. We have established relations many decades ago, and of course, in the last years and decades, we were able to further intensify these relations through intensifying our political dialogue, our business cooperation, our development cooperation, our cultural cooperation, and many other things. And we are very happy about and quite proud about what we have achieved in that area.
We would like to start about talking about the cooperations between Egypt and Germany in several fields. Let's start with cultural cooperation. How it looks like?
Well, it's one of the most fascinating areas of our cooperation here, and it's really very diverse. Culture, of course, is a catchword that encompasses a lot of activities. For example, we cooperate in the area of education, which is very important. We are very proud that many Egyptians have chosen to study the German language. Right now, more than 500,000 Egyptians are doing so, and that's quite a significant and impressive number. We also have a lot of schools here in Egypt who focus on also German language and German educational systems.
I was about to tell Your Excellency that really the German education here in Egypt have a great reputation in the whole Egypt, between the people.
Yeah, we are very proud of this, that the Egyptian people put so much trust in that system. And we try to, together with the Egyptian side, together with the Egyptian authorities, try to further enhance this cooperation by lots of things. We have, for example, decided to come up with 100 Egyptian German schools in the next years. So we have just started this program. We are going to open the first kind of model school, the first pilot project, if you want, of those 100 schools. But this shows the level of ambition that we have, and we are very proud that we can go in that direction because we are convinced that education is of strategic importance for every country.
What about the high education? Is there any cooperation in the field of higher education between Egypt and Germany?
Yeah, there's not only some level of cooperation, but there's incredible cooperation between us, between Egypt and Germany. We have many scholarships because the idea behind these universities is really to go for excellence. And some of the best students may have the means to pay for that themselves, but those who don't, they have many opportunities to get also scholarships to go to these universities. And
if we talked about the trade field. So what is the volume of trade between Egypt and Germany?
The volume of trade between Egypt and Germany is more than 5 billion euros, which is a good number. But at the same time, we feel we should not be complacent about that number. And of course, we try to come up with further initiatives, plans, projects, ideas to further enhance and increase this number. We feel that the potential is bigger than this, and we hope that both on the Egyptian and the German side we can initiate measures that lead to an even higher number when it comes to bilateral trade.
Can I ask about the main imports and exports between the two countries, main products?
Yes, of course. Germany exports some products to Egypt, and Egypt exports some products to Germany. From the German side, it will not surprise you, cars, of course. It is a lot of industrial equipment.
Also, it has a great reputation here in the Egyptian market, yes.
It is a lot of pharmaceutical, chemical products. These things are quite important. And from Egypt, we import also products from Egypt. This is agricultural products. This is textile product, or electrotechnical products from Egypt to Germany.
Your Excellency, what if I asked Your Excellency about the cooperation in the field of health between Egypt and Germany? How it is?
Well, I think it's on the increase. We have already a good level of cooperation also in the area of health, but we see some very promising initiatives too. I had the opportunity to open a training center for radiation technology in Ismailia in June, for example, so that was great cooperation. Also in June, we were welcoming a rather large delegation of German companies. These German companies were looking into ways and means to do business with Egyptian partners in the field of medical equipment across the board. So I think these two examples show me that there is strong interest in further enhancing that cooperation, and I think it's on a good way.
And also for us it means there will be a new investment between the two countries in these new fields, right?
That's what we're working on.
Is there any future things that you can give it to us as a surprise, and not yet in the investment field?
I don't think I can come up with too many surprises, but this is a constant factor of our daily work, that we are trying to encourage German companies to explore the opportunities here in Egypt. I, for example, was last week in Berlin, and I attended the yearly ambassadorial conference. And this is very much on political issues, but there's always one day that is devoted exclusively to economic cooperation and business cooperation. And I would say when I was there, some 30 to 40 German business people approached me with very concrete questions about business opportunities in Egypt. And I would say from those conversations, I draw the conclusion that there's a strong interest in Egypt and the Egyptian market. And I also talked to some business organizations in Germany. One is called NUMOV, they're dealing with the entire Middle East. One is the Africa Corporation of the German Business Society, if you want. And again, many people were interested. So if I take this all together at this one day in the ambassadorial conference, some 40 people at this one thing, another 30. So I would say in this week, last week, I talked to 100 German companies who expressed interest. Not all of them will invest in Egypt. Many have questions and are thinking about, does it make sense for us to invest in Egypt? But at least it shows me there's a strong interest. People see the potential and see the potential profit for them, and that is good.
Can I ask you something about the field they asked about?
It's a wide range of issues. It ranges from manufacturing cars to producing very specific equipment in very specific fields. So it's really a wide range of companies that are looking into these opportunities. And of course we have already present today more than 1,500 German companies in Egypt. And again, if you look at the scope of the activities, they're also covering a very wide range of very different business activities.
Your Excellency, some countries consider Egypt the gate for Africa. So do you see it like this? And if so, do you have any plans for this?
Well, I think it's, when I talk to business people in Germany, then many also mention this to me, that Egypt is interesting to them as a market. First of all, because Egypt is a big market with almost 110 million people. This is big. This means a lot of potential customers, a lot of potential opportunities. But then others also see exactly what you just said, that they see Egypt not only as Egypt itself as the market, but also as gateway for Africa. And many think about maybe producing here or doing production together with an Egyptian partner with the intention to then sell those products also to other countries in all of Africa. And that is a very attractive market to many companies.
Your Excellency, is there any cooperation in the field of tourism between Egypt and Germany?
Yes, of course. I think it is known that Egypt is one of the most popular tourism destinations for German citizens. Last year we had more than 1.5 million German tourists in Egypt. And I would say that even after the terrible events of 7th of October in Gaza and Israel, there was a very short period of time when tourists were a little bit more hesitant and didn't quite know what that meant. But soon afterwards, I would say very soon afterwards, this whole development normalized again, and tourists are coming to Egypt and are enjoying their time here in your wonderful.
And Your Excellency, what is your tourist destination, favorite one here in Egypt?
I've not seen everything, of course. I've been here for a year, but I've seen a bit. I would say my favorite destination is clearly Luxor. Luxor, yeah. This is for me a world-class, outstanding, absolutely unique site. I think there's nothing else in the world, and I spent some 3 or 4 days there, and I realized that's not enough. I need to go back. I need to spend much more time there.
Your Excellency knows that they call Luxor an open-door museum in Egypt. It's an open, because you have everywhere you can find temples and have monuments and things like this.
Indeed. Indeed.
Your Excellency, have you tried the Egyptian cuisine?
Of course, I'm living here. Of course, I
So-
do not bring my cans from Germany and Italy.
So what's your favorite dish in the Egyptian cuisine?
It's not easy to say, but I think I've said it before. I like a lot malachia.
Wow.
That's something I like really a lot, and I think I may have said it somewhere else, but at first I thought it was some kind of spinach. But then I realized, no, it's no spinach. It's a very unique Egyptian dish, and I like that a lot.
Your Excellency, one of the most important question, of course, we want to ask, that have the reflection of the relations between Egypt and Germany is the visit of the German president to Egypt here.
Yes.
So please tell us about what do you see from this visit?
Well, first of all, we were very happy that our federal president, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, came to Egypt last year. It was a very official visit. He spent 3 days in Egypt, and we feel that this was a very important and I would also say very successful visit. The president, of course, had talks with President al-Sisi. Of course, this is the first thing that comes to mind, but as he had 3 days, he also covered a whole other array of issues. He went to one of the German schools, and it was really very interesting and almost a bit heartbreaking to see when he was discussing with these very small young pupils, all girls, because it's a girls' school, and they asked him wonderful questions like in which castle he was living and other issues like this. But they also had good questions, and he enjoyed that a lot. At the same time, of course, he also focused quite a bit on our business cooperation. He had the chance to watch, to see with his own eyes what is going on in Egypt. He went to the new administrative capital. He was quite impressed with the impressive progress that you have made there, but he also saw some concrete projects that we are working on between our two countries. For example, to modernize the railway system, one of the biggest projects in the country, and he was really interested to get a better understanding of all those things. Of course, he also had a couple of talks with religious leaders. He saw a little bit of Cairo. Cairo is a huge metropolis. Of course, it's not easy to see too much, but he has been coming to Egypt and also to Cairo for more than 25 years, time and again, in different capacities. He was twice foreign minister before he became president. For example, in that capacity, he came many times to Cairo. He also knows many Egyptian politicians, and he had the chance to talk to some of them during that visit. So, and then he's always very interested to talk to young people and to listen to them and to better understand what their vision of the future of the country and of course also their personal life is. So I can say I had a chance to talk to him several times, and when he left, he really was very happy with that visit. I had the chance to talk to him last week in Berlin, very briefly again, at the ambassadorial conference. There's always a big reception by the federal president, and I had a chance to talk to him for a few minutes. And he again said to me how happy he was with that visit and that he would love to come back to Egypt anytime soon.
So Your Excellency can see a reflection of this visit that we will see on other fields, for example, like the trading in the technology or energy between the two countries?
Yes, I very much hope so. Of course, on the one hand, I have to say our federal president is a president who is not, let's say, who cannot take himself decisions of a government. He is not the head of the government. That's the chancellor in Germany. So he's not the one who is, let's say, very directly directing things in that direction. At the same time, he came with a huge business delegation, and of course he's, after all, protocol-wise, the #1 person in the Federal Republic of Germany. So he's very influential, and I think the many people he brought with him, the business people, they had good talks on the side and with him. They also talked to the president, they talked to business representatives, and of course, business people come here and they asked about business opportunities. So I think that that visit also will further intensify our cooperation in the economic and business field. There were people from the energy sector, for example. We are already doing a lot in that area, but they look into further opportunities. Green hydrogen, for example, is a huge issue for Germany. It's a huge issue for Egypt if we can come together. And we have already some ideas and some cooperation projects, but if we could further enhance that, that would be, I think, a win-win situation for both countries. So they are looking into that. There are other companies who are providing, let's say, more industrial equipment, very specialized machinery, this kind of thing, and many others. So there is a great deal of interest in looking into these business opportunities, and I'm absolutely sure that we will see a reflection, as you said, from this presidential visit also in the field of business and economy.
Yeah, sure. And I think this kind of visits also enhance the, let's say, the trust of the businessmen, whether in Germany or in Egypt, to go on. There is a good relations between the two countries, so no problems and everything can be fine.
Yes, of course, and it is important to have these very high-level talks. It is good to hear from the president. It is good to hear from the prime minister. It is good to hear from the ministers responsible to what they are thinking and what their vision is about, and where they see areas of intensified cooperation. So that is always very important. And then these business people go back to Germany and think about what they can do with these impressions and these suggestions. But it's very important to have this level, this information at this level, absolutely.
Yeah, sure. Your Excellency, I'd like to thank you so much again for having us and for all this information that you shared with us and all our viewers.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
مشاهدينا في كل مكان، وبكده انتهى لقائنا مع سعادة السفير يورجن شولتز سفير الجمهورية الألمانية المتحدة لدى جمهورية مصر العربية. بتمنى تكونوا استفدتوا من كل المعلومات اللي تم تداولها في الحلقة، واشوفكم على خير في الحلقة الجاية، وإلى اللقاء.